Okay.
Tennessee Tech head coach Dewayne Alexander, the Golden Eagles had their open date last week. Back in action this week. They're going to be at Murray State. That's on Saturday afternoon. So, Coach, just thoughts on your team, and we'll go into any questions.
Well, we didn't have a game this past Saturday. We played 7 straight weeks, so we had an open date. We're coming off a bye, and really come at a good time for us. Gave us an opportunity, as a staff to, really evaluate things, to get our team healthy, as healthy as we can get and be. We got 3 straight conference games here to finish out the schedule. 2 of those 3 are on the road, so we've got an OVC slate here lined up. So the bye come at a really good time. We took advantage of some, a couple of extra practice opportunities to get in the weight room, training room, catch up on academics, our staff, with recruiting, all those type things. And then we're trying to obviously get some preparation in for Murray State and try to get a, kind of a head start on those guys. We have the Civic Engagement Day, which is today, which we can't practice. So we practiced Sunday night and Monday night. The only day we practiced last week was Wednesday. We lifted weights on Thursday, and then gave our guys some time off. And you could tell that they looked fresh Sunday night, and Monday night there was just an energy, a buzz about them. You could tell that they had come at a good time. We've had 2 really good football practices, and we'll practice again tomorrow morning. We'll practice. We'll walk through and lift on Thursday, and then we'll practice again Friday and head up to Murray to play a Murray State team. A lot of respect for Dean Hood. We know he's going to have his team prepared and ready to go. They're very solid in all 3 phases of the game, and we know on the road, playing against those guys, it's an OVC game. So that's all that needs to be said. All you need to do is check around the OVC. If there's an OVC game, certainly anything can happen. So we're excited to finish up this 3-game stretch and hopefully try to, to go 3-0 in November. That's what we're trying to do. We had a good October. We're trying to have a better November to see if we can't finish the season strong.
Mike Organ has a question. Go ahead, Mike.
Coach, the race is still pretty wide open. Yes, Martin's in the lead, but there's still teams that can catch them. Is this what you expected coming into this year?
I really did, with Jacksonville State and EKU, being out of the league, I felt like it would be wide open, but our league the last few years have shown you that, that really on any given Saturday, anybody can truly beat anybody. And I think this year is a classic example of that. I mean, and really you can't look at scores to predict scores of future games. I mean, and I've said all along, I've maintained that if you do that, then you're wasting a lot of valuable energy, and time. I mean, for example, I just give an example, Southeast Missouri State really handled TSU, in a game at SEMO. I mean, they were, 47 to, whatever that game was, and then we turn around and go to TSU and lose in overtime, so, I mean, you can't make any sense of, any of those type things. Each week has its own set of matchups, but you look at even the scores this year, a lot of tight games, especially through halftime, third quarter, different things that happen, some teams playing each other twice. I think that makes for a more interesting, thing as well. So it's really there's a lot of scenarios, obviously I'm the head coach at Tennessee Tech. So I look at the scenarios, if we could win 3 games in November, what would that do, to go 6-5 and 4-2 in the conference? And is this a year that a team could have 2 conference losses, and end up in the playoffs? And you could easily make a case for that, that could be, a crazy tiebreaker scenario of who beat who and all those type things. There's a lot of scenarios out there, and really none of them are very far-fetched. What would have to happen for you? I think every coach right now has got the thing, all right, this has to happen for us to win the OVC. I know TSU has a scenario for that. Theirs just keep winning. Southeast Missouri, they got to keep winning. If they go 5-1 in the league, they got Martin the last week of the year. We put ourselves in a position by our loss at TSU we need some help. We're going to need somebody to help us out a little bit. We need somebody to beat somebody at some of the right teams, but there still is a scenario where that could happen, where we could end up in a tie with some. So, all we can do is handle this week, but I think it makes for exciting. I mean, there's a lot of exciting football and some big implications in these games here the last 3 weeks, starting with this Saturday. I think each Saturday you'll see a little more, it'll become a little more clear, but going into this weekend, there's a lot of scenarios on the table. And I do know this, as the head football coach at Tennessee Tech, there's only one scenario that's in play, and that's to win. That's it. I mean, we have no other there are no other options for us. We put ourselves in a spot. We've got to win, and that starts this Saturday at Murray.
I'm good, Dwayne.
All right. If you think of someone else, Mike, let me know. Coach, Murray's been involved in some close games. Obviously, they played TSU close, much like you did, but just couldn't get in the game. You said well coached, and they played two quarterbacks too. So what do you expect to see from them offensively, maybe first, and out of this game on Saturday?
Murray's, they're a lot like watching us as far as, really how they play and, style of play, and, they solid defense, offensively, they played two quarterbacks. We've played everybody at quarterback. We played three, but, Willie Miller's really, stayed healthy and has been our quarterback since the second half of the SEMO game, and that's really helped us. We've been able to have a consistent person practice there and stay healthy there and play there. Has really helped us. But, Preston Rice came in and gave their team a big lift in the second half, of that game. But, the other quarterback is very talented and can run and throw, and did a lot of positive games and some of the positive things in some of the, other games they played. I know Murray beat, SEMO the first time around. That's really at their place, and that's never easy to do, anytime that you can do that. So they've got a really good football team, and, do some good things. I think, again, they're just a play there. They've had a couple of injuries, they're just a play here or there from, their record being totally different, so that's, that's really what they got. The same offensive line that played against us in the spring. Their running back Weatherspoon is outstanding. They got two really good receivers, and number 21 and number 17. Bell and Brook. Those guys are outstanding. Okay, really good receivers. Physical offensive line. And Preston Rice, I'm very impressed with him and his leadership. Capabilities. The other quarterback is very athletic as well, and. Special teams, Dean's always going to have his guys coached up and play solid and sound and make you earn a victory. They've had some turnover woes like we did early in the year. I think that really hurt them. I think this game will really come down to me is which team's going to just take care of the football the best. I think you had to pick that, and you can say that every week, but I think this game, both of our teams have struggled taking care of the ball. And, in games, even especially at the quarterback position in some earlier games, I think the team that can have that their quarterback, can take care of the football the best in this game is certainly going to have a big advantage, because I see all the other areas of the game to be very even. I do. I see, offense, defense, special teams to be pretty much a draw. Just looking at it on film, I think it's going to come down to those, those things there. Just key penalties and taking care of the football.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time this morning, and best of luck on Saturday, and then we'll talk to you again next week.
Okay, thank you.